Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to brand new video where we are going to create a Flutter app with the help of Firebase CRUD. So let me elaborate CRUD. So first one is create, second is read, third is update, last one is delete. So do not forget to drop the like button. Let's keep the like aim on this video of 1k likes. I know you will definitely do that, and do hit that subscribe button too. Now let's get started. Let's move with a Flutter app where I'm going to use a CRUD method. The feature that I'm going to add on this Flutter app is that we are going to add a student attendance. So for an example, I'm doing a quick thing like what features we are going to add in this Flutter app and how we are going to use a Firebase CRUD in this. So basically I am going to make one plus icon at the bottom, something like this, and here we are going to upload the student name, their roll number, their age, and attendance. So, for an example, if a teacher who wants to use this app and they need to just add a student and they can mark present or absent in that attendance when they add a student by clicking this add button. So by this method we can simply use CRUD, C which is create, R for read, U for update, and D for delete. So let's move to the leave folder, but before that here you can see a debug banner. So you can simply remove that by simply passing debug so check banner mode check banner to false, and it will simply remove this banner. Now in the leave folder I will create a new folder name pages, and inside the pages folder I will create a new file name home.dart, and inside the home.dart I am going to write a complete function of our CRUD method. So I will simply pass flutter material.dart, then will create a stateful widget name which will be home. After this, I need to simply pass a scaffold, and in the scaffold I will pass body, container, then child, then column, then children. Yep. After this, I need to add a headline for our home page which will be like student attendance. So I in the main.dart, let's move to the home page so that I can show you what all code I am writing in home.dart file. Now I will simply pass a row and children. Now we'll pass a text widget, and inside the text widget I am going to pass student. So I will write student. Now we can pass a style which will be a text style. Now color which will be colors dot, I think so, black, and a font size up to 20.0 and font weight dot bold. Yeah, font weight dot bold. Yeah. So here you can see a student. Now we can simply center this by main axis alignment dot center. Yeah, and we can simply pass a margin so that we can see a header of this page. So we'll pass the margin from the top which will be up to 50.0. Maybe we can do up to 60, and then we can copy this text widget again and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply pass student attendance. Yeah, so here it is, and then we can give some space if you want. So here is some space. We can change the color to blue. So here you can see a student attendance, font width dot bold. You can simply increase a font size if you want. So student attendance. Now after this, as I've told you that we are going to create a plus button at the bottom which is a floating action button. So in the scaffold I'm going to write floating action button, and we can simply pass like floating action button on press. I will pass some function in the on press, and first we need to pass a child and we need to pass an icon. So I will simply write icons dot add. Yeah, and the color which will be colors dot white, and we can simply pass a background color up to blue. So I will write background color colors dot blue. So here you can see the our floating action button, Now let's move and we'll create first UI for our student attendance home page. Then I'm going to add a backend which is a Firebase. So let's move to the column widget and we'll simply pass an container. We can pass an width which will be media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now use of media query is that if you have followed my old series, then you already know the use of media query, but let me repeat it again. So media query is something that makes your app highly responsive. So if you want to make your app highly responsive and you want to test the app on the different devices, then you can use a media query rather than passing a fixed width to the container. Now after this, I can simply pass a decoration. So in the decoration, I'll pass box decoration. We can pass a color, which will be colors dot white. And after this, I can simply pass an column. So I will write child. I can pass a column children. So here it is. Now after this, I will pass a material widget. Material widget in the container. So I will write material. Now elevation, which will be up to 5.0. Now in this column widget, I first need to pass an student name that I have talked about. So I will simply pass a text and will pass a student name. So rather writing the font again and again, I will simply copy this and will paste it over here and will simply change the student name. Yeah. So we can decrease a font size, and if you want you can do up to W500. Yeah, now here you can see the container, but we can simply pass a margin. So I will simply pass a margin which will be edge insert dot only. So rather passing the margin over here, I will simply pass a margin to this container so that it can valid in all the containers that we are going to use in the column widget. So we from the left position and from the right position. So here it is done. Now we can pass some height from the top. So we'll pass the size box up to 30.0. And if you want, not over here, sorry, we can pass over here. If you want, you can decrease elevation to this container. So we can do up to 3. I think so it's look good. Now we can simply pass and padding to this container. So I will pass padding edge insert dot all up to 5. Yeah, so here it is. Now I want to move this text to the left side of the screen, so I will simply pass a cross and cross axis alignment dot start. So here it is. Now let's do some more padding from the left 10.0 or maybe up to 20, and from the top we can do up to 10, and from the bottom up to 10. Yeah, so here you can see a student name, but if you want you can decrease a font size. You can pass a colon, and here it is. Now after this, I simply want to show a student name just beside this text, so I will wrap up with the row widget again. Why to write a text widget again and again? So we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply change the student name. So I'm writing my name, though I'm not a student, but let's write a student name, and we can simply pass a 22, or you can do up to 20. Yeah, and we can pass a space so we can see a student name. So let's do up to 18 and 16 and 19. Yeah, so this is a font size. So I'm using a font size according to the my choice, but if you are coding with me, then you can pass a font size according to your choice, like how you want to show the font size according to your phone device. Now after this, I need to simply pass a border radius to this container. So I will move to the box decoration again. Will pass a border radius circular up to 10. Yeah. Now we'll pass same border radius to our material widget. So we'll copy this border radius and we'll paste it again over here. So here something like this. Now after this, I need to simply copy this row widget and we'll paste it over here, and we can simply pass a size box height up to 5.0. Yeah, and in the student name, not in the student name, after the student name I need to pass a roll number of that student, so I will write roll number, and we can pass a roll number like 01. Yeah, now many of the viewers who are watching my video for the first time, they might be think that why I'm not using any special state management to make this app, because I'm going to make this app complete for a beginner who are learning the Flutter for the first time. So I don't want to complicate the code by using that state managements that will be really difficult for the beginners to catch. So I'm trying my best to make it completely for the beginners who are learning the Flutter and Firebase for the first time. So now I'll copy this size box and the row again. We'll paste it over here, and we can pass after a roll number. We need to pass an, what we need to pass, I think so it was an age. So we'll write age, and we can pass student age. So for an example 15. So here it is a student name, roll number, his age, and the final thing, attendance. Now we'll copy the size box again, I'm in the row, and we'll paste it over here. And here I need to change the text to attendance. Yeah, and we can increase the font size up to, and we can do bold, attendance. Now after this, as I've told you that I'm going to show the two container, or yeah, container which will be a present and absent. So for an example, if the student is present, then the teacher who are using this app will click to the present button and it will turn to green, and if it turn to absent, then they will click to the a container, so which indicate absent, so it will turn to red. So this is what I have thought to make the attendance of that respective student. Now after this, in the row widget, let's remove this text, and as I told you, we need to create a container. So we'll create a container, we'll create a decoration box, decoration, now color, which will be colors dot, so it is a present, so I will pass green. And after this, I need to simply pass a child and the text widget. So we'll copy this text widget and we'll paste it over here, something like this, and we can simply pass p, and we can mark it white so that I can see the text p. Now let's provide some padding, so we'll write edge inset dot all up to 5. So here you can see p, but if you want, you can provide some width up to 30, and we can center this text with a center widget. So here you can see the p container, and we can pass a size box with up to 10.0. Yeah, now if you want, you can increase text and the size up to your choice. So let me do, yeah, p for present, and we can pass a border radius to this container. So I will pass border radius, and will pass border radius dot circular, which will be 10. So I think so 10 will be too much, we can do 5. Yeah, p for present. Now after this, and we can create one more container for absent. So we can pass a size box with 10.0, maybe we can go to 20, and we can show a text name a, and same red color to show absent. Yeah, so present and absent. Now, so we have wrote a complete UI. Now let's move and let's do a main thing for this video, which is first connecting a Firebase. So let's move to the Firebase, and we need to enter project name. So I will simply pass Flutter and will write CRUD. CRUD, and we can click to the continue button, continue again. Now select default account for Firebase, create project. So as you can see, Firebase is preparing our project. So wait for a few seconds. So our project is ready. Now click on continue button again and we'll directly move to the project. So here you can see that we can connect iOS, Android and web app with a Firebase. So first I'm going to connect the iOS app. Now we need a Apple bundle ID. So let's move to the Xcode and we'll simply open a Xcode. Now move to the runner and move to the signing in capabilities. Now here you will find a bundle identifier. Now copy this bundle identifier and we need to paste it over here. Click on register app and wait for a few seconds. And now download Google service-info.plist file and you will find a file over here. And if you have the older file, then simply remove that file, and here we can simply rename this file from Google service-info.plist. We'll paste it in info, click on finish. So here you can see the Google service-info.plist file. Now click on next, next, continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added the iOS app here. Now let's move with our Android app. Now here we need an Android package name. So let's move to the Android app build.gdl file and copy this application ID and we need to paste it over here. Click on register app again. And now download google-services.json file, and here you find a file, open a folder and paste it Android app folder, and don't forget to rename this file because it should be Google services.json. So if you have any number written in between that, so simply edit this file name and make it google-services.json. So here it is done. Now click on next. Now we need to add this plugin. So we'll copy this plugin and we'll move to the build.gdl again and we'll simply move over here and we'll paste it over here. So I will simply copy and paste and we'll change the sum line of the code. And here it is. We'll add some colon and again over here. Something here. Yeah. Now after this we need to copy this com google gms dot google services. Yeah, it is a plugin ID. So we'll move over here, we'll paste it over here and here. Yeah, again remove some double inverted comma ID. Yeah, then some dependencies, we'll paste it over here, and a second dependency and we'll paste it over here. So here it is done. Now click on next again, continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added iOS and Android app here. Now let's move, and for an example, so for an instance, like if you are facing any error while running the app in your Android emulator or Android real device, I will suggest you to please follow the Barber app series, because in that Barber app series I have shown you that how to run the app in your real Android device, and if you are facing any error then how to solve that error. And this and that video can help you lots to run the app. If you are running the first app in your Android device, you may face some problem, so do not need to worry, just follow that video and you can get how to run the app in your first Android emulator or real Android device if you are using. Now let's move to the Firebase again, and here you will find one Firestore database, and in this Firestore database I will show you the four function of CRUD, which is create, read, update and delete. So now let's move and we'll simply create a database. Now click on next and click on create button. So as you can see that Firestore is taking some time to set up the security rules. So let's move to the perf dev and we need to add some packages from the perf dev, and we need to simply paste in the perspec.ml file. So our first package name will be Firebase core, which will help us to connect a Firebase with a Flutter app. So move to the installing and copy this package, and we'll move to the perspec.ml file and we'll paste it over here. Yeah, our second package name will be Cloud Firestore to upload the data to the Firestore database, and move to the installing again, and we need to copy this and we need to paste it over here. And here comes an important thing, which is a random string. Now you might think that why we need a random string. So I will show you why the random string will be a most important thing during an update. So do not need to worry. Now simply run these packages that we have just added here. Now after this, if you are facing any version error, then you can simply remove this version from the packages you have added, and it will simply take a specific version of the Flutter you are using. So here you can see that by simply removing the package, all the package has been run successfully. Now let's move to the home.dart file again, and first we need to move to the Firebase. I think so. Here now we need to create. So there is some internal error. So as you can see that our Firestore has set up the security rules. Now move to the rules and simply change the false to true. Do not forget to do this process, and here it is. Not in the uppercase, we need to add in the lowercase. Now here you can see that your security rules are defined public, so anyone can steal your data. So no one we are going to steal a data. So this usually shows that when you are not add any authentication and directly upload the data to the Firestore database. So this is just a crude method that I am trying to teach you. So that's why I've changed the rules from false to true. And after this, let's move to the app again and let's add this function for the floating action button that we have added. Now here we need to move to the pages folder and we need to create a new file which will be add student.dart, and here I need to simply first import the package by using material.dart, and will pass a stateful widget which will be add student. Yeah, now we can pass a scaffold body, now container child column. After this, I need to simply add a header of this page. So I will use a row widget again, will paste it over here, and will simply pass add student. So we'll write a text name add, and we can pass a text again which will be student. So here it is, which will be add student. Now let's navigate to this page. So I will move to the home.dart, and where we have wrote on press function, we can now pass navigator dot push, and will simply push the user to a add page. So we'll write material page root, and we'll pass a context, and in the context we need to push the user to the add page. So we'll write add student page. So we'll write add student, and here you can see the add student. No, you can't see because we have forgot to pass a margin. So we'll pass margin, and we'll write margin agent set dot only from the top, which will be 50.0, and I think so 60 will be enough. Yeah, now we need to also add a back arrow. So for an example, when the teacher, I'm taking example of teacher again because the teacher is going to add a student for the classes or a school they attend. So here I need to pass a back arrow. So I will simply pass icon, and will pass icons dot arrow back iOS new outline, and we can pass like this. Now we need to pass over here. So I will remove this center, main axis alignment center. We can pass a margin from the left 20.0, from the right 20.0. Yeah, So here it is. Now we can simply pass a size box, and the size box with up to 50.0 will be enough. I think so it will be enough. Not enough, maybe 90 or maybe 80. Yeah, so here it is. Now after this, in add student we are going to upload a student name, a student roll number, and student age. So these three things we need to add a student name, roll number, and his age. So this is a create method. So it is a first part of our Flutter CRUD, which is create. So by this way we can create a database and can upload the database to the Firestore. So let's first add some function to the main.dart file, and we can pass a sync widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Now if you are facing any problem and if you want a source code for this app, I will paste a source code link in the description box, so you can simply move and can get a source code. Let's move, and we need to add a text field. In the text field, uh, first we can show a student name, roll number, and the age. So we'll copy this text widget again and we'll paste it over here, something over here. I think so, in our row widget. Yeah, row widget, and a student name. So we'll write student name, something like this. We can pass cross to move the text to the left side. So we'll write cross axis alignment dot start, and we can pass a size box up to height, which will be 40.0, and we can also change the 40 will be too much, I think so. Yeah, you can pass up to 20, and font weight dot w 500 will be good. Yeah, student name. Now we can simply add a text field. If you want, you can do bold, not a worry. And text field, so we'll write container. We can pass a child, a text field, sorry, text field, yeah, and a decoration, which will be input decoration. And here you can see a text field. Now if you want to remove this line, so you can simply pass border input border dot none, and it will simply remove this line. And first we can pass a decoration, box decoration. In the box decoration I can simply pass an color. So I'm going to use a specific color on this text field. So let me copy that color code, because I don't remind that color code number. So I'll that's a random color code number. So let me paste that color code over here. So this is a color code that I'm going to use, and here you can see the text field now. Now here you can give some padding. So I will simply pass a padding edge insert dot only from the left, which will be 20.0. Yeah, and we can pass a size box which will be height, and we can pass a size box up to 5.0. Now we can pass a hint text, and in the hint text I can simply pass like enter student name, student sorry student name. Yeah, enter student name. We can pass a border radius to this container. So we'll write border radius dot circular, which will be, I think so, 5, or we can do 10. Yeah, so student name, we can pass a size box height 10.0, and on the top will be 30. Yeah, after this I need to copy this, we'll paste it over here, and we can change the 20.0, maybe we can do up to 30, and we can change student age. So here they need to enter student age, so I will write enter student age. something like this, and a third one which is a roll number. So I will write student roll number. So we'll write student roll number. Yeah. So student name, age, and his roll number. Now, to handle the text that the teacher or user enter on this text field, I need to pass a text editing controller. So we'll write text editing controller. We'll pass name controller equals to new text editing controller. New text editing controller, and we can do same for the age and roll number. So we'll write age and a roll number. Yeah, and now we need to pass this text controller to each controller that we have added, I mean the each text field that we have added, and we can simply pass name controller, and for the age we can pass age controller, and third one is roll number. So we'll write roll number controller. Here it is done. After this we need to add one button over here. So here I need to write a container again, and I'm going to create a customized button rather than elevated button. So if you want you can use an elevated button, but I don't prefer to use an elevated button. Now after this I need to pass decoration, box decoration. We can pass a color which will be color dot blue, and a border radius which will be border radius dot up to circular 10. Yeah, so here it is. Now after this I can simply pass a child. Now we need to pass a text widget, so we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here. Now if you have any question regarding the thing that you are can't understand, or if you are facing any problem, you can directly write a that problem in the comment box. I can see that and can reply you. But if you want, you can follow my Instagram ID. You can find the link in the description box, and you can directly ping me on my Instagram ID. That will help you to get a quick reply from my side. Now I can simply change the color to white, and we will change the text to add. Yeah. Now I can simply increase the font size 25, and we can center this by using a center widget, and we can completely center this container, and we can pass a size box up to height which will be 30.0, and if you want you can pass some padding. So we'll write padding edge inset dot from symmetric, and we can pass vertical 10.0. Yeah, or maybe 8 will be good. We can do 150. Yeah, so here you can see the add button. Now if you want you can provide some more height which will be 50. Now after this let's move and add this data to the Firestore database. So I need to do one thing, like we need to create a new folder name which will be service, and I will try to make a separate file for the database because I don't want to write all the function over here and make it like you can't understand the code that I'm writing, and it will be like very messy to understand the code. Now we can pass a class and database methods, and do like this. Yeah, so let's move and we'll write future, and here after this I need to write a function name which is add student, and here I need to pass a map. So I will pass a map and will pass a string dynamic. Now if you are the new viewer who are watching the videos for the first time, and if you haven't watched my old series, like we have already made 10 to 11 apps on this channel before. So let me explain the use of map. The map is a combination of key value pair. So here in the map we are going to use a key which is a string, and the dynamic that you are showing is a value. So dynamic is something that you can upload a number, a boolean character, a string. So it is a dynamic. Now here I can simply pass a map name which will be a student info map. So I will write student info map. Yeah. Now after this I need to pass a id. So here is the random string that we'll use, and in this id we are going to pass a unique id that will be specifically given to that student list, not student list, student id. So here we need to pass an async. Now async await will wait until the complete function will be called. So here we need to return, so I will pass and return. Now firebase firestore dot instance dot collection. Now collection, in this collection we need to pass a student name, so I will write students, yeah, students doc a specific id dot set method, and in the set method we need to pass a map name which is a student info map. Yeah. So student collection. So let's move to the firestore, and here is, you can see a start collection button, and you can pass a collection id, but here you can see a student collection. So here it will automatically create a students collection, and here you will see a doc id, and here there you will see a document that will be uploaded to the students collection one by one. So let me show you how I'll do that. So we'll move to the add button again. We'll wrap up with a gesture detector. And in the onTap method, I will simply pass one thing like if, like for an example, if the teacher have entered the student name, age, and he forgot to add a roll number and directly click on the add button. So it will show the bug when the teacher will move to the home page, and it will tell him that the roll number is not present for this student, and it will be taking lot of time to solve that error. So I will simply pass an if case and will tell that please fill all this text field, then click to this add button. So we'll write like name controller.text should not be equals to space, and our age controller.text should not be equals to space. This means that it should not be a blank, and same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number.text should not be equals to space, something like this. And if this case will be true, then we'll create a map. And as I told you, map is a combination of key value pair. So now I'll show you how to create a key value pair, and we'll write a map name which is student info map. Yeah, something like this. Now first we need to pass a student name, so we'll write name. Now to get a name that the teacher entered on this text field, I need to pass name controller.text, and we'll do same for the age. So we'll write age, and we'll write age controller.text, and we'll do same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number, and we'll pass like roll number controller.text. Now after this we need to also create a unique id that I've told you. So we'll write string, we'll pass add id, and we'll pass random alphanumeric 10, and it will pass a 10 numeric, not numeric, it is alphanumeric. So it will contain a numeric and the string character. Now after this I need to simply pass an database. So I will pass like async, not over here, you can pass it async await database methods dot add student, and we need to pass info map which is a student info map, and a unique id which is add id. Yeah, dot then. So for an example, if the data is uploaded, we need to also show that the data has been uploaded to the Firestore. So to show that, we need to add a snack bar, or you can, yeah, you can say a snack bar. So let's move, and first we need to add a snack bar. So to show a snack bar, I need to simply write scaffold messenger dot of context dot snack bar, so snack bar, and we need to pass a snack bar, and in the content we need to pass a text that we want to show over here, over on the screen. So I need to pass like student data uploaded, student data has been uploaded, has been uploaded, yeah, has been uploaded. And if you want you can show on a green color, so you can pass background color which will be colors dot green, yeah, something like this. Now if you want you can pass some more styling. So in the styling I just need to increase the font size so that the user can see it easily. So we'll write font size which will be 20.0. We can pass bold font weight dot, yeah, something like this. After this we can also empty this text field. So for an example, if the teacher wants to upload like 10 student data to the Firestore, then he can be quick on this action and he can add one more student name after the another. They don't need to like remove a complete student name and then they need to re-enter a new name. So we can simply enter the text field when the data has been uploaded. So we'll do one thing, like we can just mark name controller dot text should be equals to space. Same for the age, we'll pass age controller text should be equals to space, and we'll do same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number dot text should be equals to space, yeah, something like this. Now here it is done. Now as we have added a Firestore database and everything, so we need to rerun the app again. So hot restart will not work over here, so you need to completely rerun the app again. So let me rerun the app. I have rerun the app again and here it is. But there is one more thing, like I have told you that there is a present and absent attendance that the teacher will manage from the home page. So to do that, we need to upload the data to the Firestore database, because I want that once the teacher update the specific student data like he is present, then it will be stored in the Firestore database, so that once the teacher closes the app and opens the app, he can still find that which student is present or absent. So to do that, I need to simply move to the add student, and here where we have wrote a map, we'll just pass absent, and in the absent I will just pass false, and will pass present, present, yeah, and will mark it false. So when the teacher is making a student ID, will keep them both false, and as they update, then we'll use our third method which is update to update this data. So first now we are at the first part which is create. So let's move and we'll simply write a student name, yeah. So let's move and we'll create and we'll write a student name. So I will write my name, not over here, I will need to write over here. So we'll write Shivam and we'll write Gupta, and let's write a random age. So I'm not 20 but I'm writing 20. So we'll write student roll number. So we'll write roll number which is up to 50, or you can just keep like 1 and click on add button, and let's see if the data has been uploaded. So here you can see that student data has been uploaded, and here you can see that now the teacher can enter another student name without removing the again name from the text field, because we have already passed that once the data has been uploaded we can simply empty that text field. Now let's move to the Firestore database and let's check what data has been uploaded over there. So we'll simply refresh this page, and here you can find a collection that I was talking about. So here you will find a students collection. So here you can see a students collection, the unique ID that we have provided, the absent, present, name, age, and his roll number. So these are the data that we have just uploaded from the emulator, iPhone emulator. So our create method is done, And if you haven't hit that like button till now, then please hit that like button and hit that red button too, because that's a subscribe button, so you won't miss out on any of the upcoming videos we upload on this channel. And let's be a part of this Flutter family. After this, let's move and we can wrap up the icon with a gesture detector. And in the gesture detector, I simply want to move back to the home page. So we'll write navigator dot pop context. Yeah, and we can simply move to the home page here again. Now our create is done. Now second is read. Now we need to read the data that has been uploaded to the files to database. So to read the data, I will do one thing. We'll use a stream builder, and through the stream builder we are going to read that data. Now to read that data, I will simply give some space and will create a function name which will be show student. So we'll write widget and we need to write show students. Let's keep show students list. And here I need to simply pass a stream builder that I was talking about. So to pass a stream builder, first we need to create a stream and we'll write student stream. Student stream stream. Yeah, we can pass null check error and we can pass a return. We can pass a stream builder. In this stream builder, I need to first pass a stream. So we'll write stream and our stream name is student stream, and in the builder I need to pass an context and a sync snapshot. Basically a sync snapshot is something that will help us to get the respective documents that present in that collection. So we need to get a collection name students. Snapshot will get help to get all the document that present in students collection. So a sync snapshot. Now after this I need to simply return. So I will write return. Now I will write snapshot dot data dot has data. So we'll check that if the collection that the students we have mentioned contains a documents or not. So if there will be a document, then we'll show that the documents in the form of list view dot builder. Okay, now after this I need to do one thing, like I need to simply first return list view dot builder. Yeah, everything is correct. Yeah, padding, first need to pass padding edge inset dot 0 because I don't need padding in list view builder. Now after this we need to simply pass one case, like if there will be documents, then we are going to show the documents by the use of list view dot builder, and if there are not any documents available, then we'll just show the container. Now after this I need to simply pass item count, which will be snapshot dot data dot dot docs dot length, and we'll simply get the all the documents, how many documents that present in the respective collection in the item count. And now after this I can simply pass an item builder context index. Now after this I need to pass here a document snapshot so that I can get the data of each document now. So I will write ds equals to snapshot dot data. It will be a snapshot dot data dot docs dot length, sorry, dot index. Now after this I need to simply pass a return, and here now we are going to pass the UI of the container that we have just wrote. So we'll copy this complete container from here. I think so. We can include, we have missed something. Yeah, student not. We have wrote this stream builder in the long place. I will simply cut it from here. Sorry for that. And we'll paste it in the home page. Sorry for that again. And here we paste it. And now after this, I need to copy this material widget and we'll copy and we'll paste it over here and we'll paste it here, something like this. So here it is done. Now padding the item count. Now we need to also pass a sync wrap which will be true and a scroll direction which will be axis dot vertical, because we need to show the all the containers in the vertical position. Now we have wrote the code that we just want to show. Now we need to just call the field name. Now when you are writing the field name, that should be exact that what you have wrote in the Firebase. So if there will be any mismatch and you wrote something that is not present in the document field, then you will frequently get an error. So here you will see that name. So I simply need to write name and a roll number. So we'll write ds and a roll number, which is this roll number. So we'll need to write roll number and the age. So we'll write ds age. Yeah. Now let's call this stream and we need to just write a function to create, not to create, to read a database from the Firestore. So here comes our second function to read the data from the Firestore database. So now we are going to write a function name which will be get student list. So I will simply pass a future and now we need to pass a stream, and in the stream we need to pass a query snapshot. So query snapshot, yeah, and get student details, something like this. Now after this I need to pass a sync and a return, then await Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection, and here we need to pass a collection which is students dot snapshot. You already know the use of snapshot now. So here it is. Now let's call this function in our home page. So I will simply write get on the load function and we'll write student stream equals to await database methods dot get student details, and we'll pass set state. And now we need to pass this on the init state, because when you will start the app, the init state is the first function that usually call in any home.dart page. So init state is the first function that call when the app starts, or you can say a respective dart file starts. Now a set state, you already know the use. If not, let me tell you. If set state is something that help us to refresh the thing. So for an instance, if we get a data here, then we can frequently refresh this and we can also pass the data in the student stream, and then we can show that data in the form of list view. So here it is done. Now we can pass get on the load over here. So here it is. Now let me save all the file, then let hot restart the app again. Yeah, so let me call this function so that I can see the data. So let's show student list, and here it is. Let's hot restart the app again. I think so. There is some bug. .html. So there is a .html. So just remove this. It's come automatically. Yeah, now let's refresh this again, and here you can see that this is a data that we have get from the Firestore database: a student name, the age 20, roll number 1, and the attendance that we need to add now. So we are getting a data from the Firestore database. Now we can also pass a margin. So edge insert dot only from the bottom, which will be 20.0. Yeah, do one thing, just wrap up with a container and a margin from the bottom. Yeah, so now let's handle this attendance case. So if the present and absent is both false, then we just need to show the container with a white color. We don't need to show the color now, because I want that when the teacher press to P, that means the student is present, then we'll change the color to green. So if it is if it is false, then we just need to show the container. So I will simply write check that if ds present, so we'll write ds present is equals to false. Yeah, so if ds present is equals to false, then we just need to show the container. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Now if it is false, then we don't need to show the color, we just need to show a border, which will be border dot all. Yeah, it is a boolean character, so don't pass in here, and we need to change it to black, something like this. So here you can see the, if the data is false, then we do same for an absent. So we'll absent and we'll pass absent absent. Yeah, false. Then we need to again show this container, so I'll copy this container and we'll just change the text to a. So we'll paste it over here and we'll change the text to a. So I will change text to a, something like this. Now so now the present and absent is false, so that's why it is on white color. Now when the user will tap to this P container, then we need to change it to green to mark that this student is present. And if it is absent, then the teacher will simply press to this A and will mark that the student is absent. So to do that, here comes our third thing, which is update. So we have till now learned create, read that I have shown you, that we are reading the data by using a stream builder. Now third part is update. Now in this update, we are going to update the data, like when the teacher will tap to this P container, then we will simply change this present to true and it will simply mark green color over here. Okay, so to handle this, I need to move to the database, and first I need to write a function to update the data. So I will write update attendance. Take attendance. Yeah. Now after this, I need to simply pass a string, like which container the teacher have choose, either it is present or absent. So I don't need to write a two function, by just using a single function I can handle that. So I will simply pass a string and will pass a case. Rather than writing a case, we can write attendance case. Okay, now after this async, and here comes a main thing that I was talking about, to passing the unique ID to the each document. So we'll pass a string ID and we need to get a unique ID in this ID. The unique ID is this ID because once I move to the student collection, I need to move to this unique ID and then I need to change the present or absent to true. So to do that, I need to simply just write return await Firebase Firestore dot instance and collection, and we'll write a collection name which is students. Yeah, and we'll write dot update function. So for that we need to pass a specific doc id. We'll move to that doc id that I've shown you, and then we are going to update that document. So here we need to write an exact field name that what we want to update. So I will write attendance case, and in this attendance case I will simply pass present or an absent, and here we'll change the thing to true. Yeah, so here it is done, and we have wrote this. Now let's check. Let's add this function in the home page. So for an example, if the teacher tap to this, so we'll wrap up with a widget, we'll pass gesture detector, and in the on tab we can simply pass like date, wait a second, async await database methods dot update attendance, and here we are updating the present. So we'll write present present and the specific doc id. So we'll simply pass the doc id by using ds.id. Yeah, and we'll do same for the absent. So we'll wrap up with a gesture detector again. In the ontap method, we'll first pass async, we'll paste it over here, and we'll write absent. Yeah, so here it is. Now let's check this. So first, for to restart the app again, now I will simply tap to this P, and here you can see that it changes to green. So let's check what the data has been updated in the Firestore database. So here you can see that the present has been changed from false to true. So our update is also working brilliantly. Now let's add one more student name. So let's keep the name like Ayush Gupta, and the student age let's keep up to 16, and the roll number will be 3. Now add the student. So the student has been added. Now let's move back, and here you can see a student name. Now let's mark absent over here. I'll press absent, and here you can see that it changes to red. So here you can see the second document, and you will find the absent will be true, yeah, and present is false. So it is working brilliantly, and I have shown you a third part of CRUD, which is update. Now a last part, which is delete. So if you haven't hit that like button till now, then please show your support, because I'm trying my best to explain each and every line of the code that I'm writing here, so that everyone who are learning the Flutter and Firebase for the first time can simply get to know what I'm writing over here. Now after this, our third function, which is delete. Now to delete the data, I will simply add a bin icon over here. So to remove this, I need to just pass an icon, which will be icons dot delete. Yeah, and we can pass the color, which will be colors dot black. Yeah, so here you can see the icon bin. Now you can pass a spacer, and spacer will give a maximum space between these two widgets, and you can pass an padding if you want to give some spacing. So from dot only, and insert dot on, sorry, only from the right, which will be 10.0. Now if you want, you can increase the bin size up to size, which will be 30.0 or maybe 25. Yeah, so here it is. Now when the teacher will type to this bin icon, he simply wants that this student attendance should be removed from here. So to delete this, I need to move to the database, and we need to copy this function, and we'll paste it over here, and we'll just make some update and we'll simply change the function name delete student data. Yeah, we don't need an attendant case. We'll remove this. We just need a student ID, doc ID, and we need to just call dot delete. Yeah, and here it is. So here it is after this. Here we have wrote an icon here. So we'll wrap up with the gesture detector, and again in the ontap method, we'll pass async await database methods dot delete user data, and again on doc id. Yeah, so here it is. Now let's start the app again. Now I'm deleting this Ayush Gupta details. So I'll tap to this, and here you can see that it just take a few seconds to delete this data from the Firestore from the Flutter app. Now let's check from the Firestore database if that document has been deleted from there or not. So here you can see now a single document is only available, which is Shivam Gupta, which is shown here. So our fourth function is also done, which is delete. So this function was for create. So you can simply write like it is for, sorry, it is for create. This was for the delete, not delete, read. And this was for the update, update date, and the fourth one was for delete. So we'll write delete. So this four function for create, read, update, and delete. So here we have done a complete thing for a CRUD method, and where I have shown you all the things to how to update the data, delete a data, read a data, and create a data. If you want to learn more about the Flutter apps, you can follow some series, and I have already made a chat app, e-commerce app, and barber app on this channel. And if you want to get the source code of this CRUD app, you can find the link in the description box, and show your support by hitting that like button, because your like will help us to keep going and bring some more awesome videos on this channel. And hitting the subscribe button will add you in our Flutter family. Until then, keep coding, keep having fun. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.